Just look around you for a second. In our cities, out in the forests, up in the sky, there's one group of animals that has, well, pretty much conquered the entire planet. But their story? It's way more incredible than you probably imagine. So today, we're going to dive into how the humble bird became an absolute master of the world. Seriously, think about it. From the Arctic ice to the deepest, steamiest jungles, from our own backyards to the middle of the ocean, birds are just there. They've pulled off a total global takeover. But the real scale of their reign, it's absolutely mind-blowing. Okay, so let's start at the very bottom of the world, in probably the most brutal environment you can think of, the frozen wasteland of Antarctica. I mean, very few creatures can hack it here. But emperor penguins, they don't just survive, they actually thrive. So, from the coldest place on Earth, let's go to the highest. As you go up, the air gets thin, the temperature just plummets, and life gets incredibly tough. And yet, the red-billed chub has been spotted at the summit of Mount Everest. That is just an unbelievable feat of adaptation. And what about the complete opposite, the driest habitats? Well, in scorching deserts where you can't find water for miles, the sandgrouse has this genius strategy. The dad soaks water into his chest feathers and flies it all the way back to the nest for his chicks. How cool is that? So from polar ice and mountain peaks to arid deserts and pretty much everywhere in between, they've got it covered. Which, of course, brings up the big question. How? How on earth did birds become the undisputed masters of the planet? Well, the first clue to their incredible success is just sheer numbers. We're not talking about a handful of species here. We are talking about a family so huge, the numbers are genuinely staggering. Just let that number sink in for a second. Over 10,600 different species. That incredible variety is really their secret weapon. It's what allowed them to adapt and move into pretty much every little nook and cranny on the planet. So, scientists organize this gigantic family into a tree that kind of tells their life story. Over on the left, you've got the more, let's say, primitive orders, like ostriches. They showed up earlier in the story and haven't changed quite as much over millions of years. But get this, one branch of that family tree has just exploded, totally outcompeting all the others combined. They're called the passerines, or perching birds, and they make up more than half of all bird species. Their secret? It's a simple but brilliant little trick. A foot with 3 toes pointing forward and 1 pointing back, which lets them grip the tiniest branches, even while they're asleep. Now, that little foot design is a powerful adaptation for sure, but it's nothing compared to their ultimate superpower. The one ability that let them escape predators, find new food sources, and colonize the entire globe. The power of flight. A bird's body is basically an engineering masterpiece, built from the ground up for flying. The skeleton is this amazing mix of lightness and strength. The bones are hollow, with a structure inside, just like a honeycomb. And this feather-light frame is powered by these enormous flight muscles, all anchored to a special bone called a keel. But here's where things get really, really surprising. This super specialized structure, this wing, is actually built from a blueprint that's going to look very familiar. In fact, a bird's wing has the exact same basic parts as a human arm. And this just lays it all out, doesn't it? Look at that. You can see the shoulder, the upper arm bone, the elbow, the forearm. You can even see the wrist and finger bones. It's basically our arm, just radically redesigned for flying. Which leads to the huge question, where did this incredible design even come from? Well, the answer to that question takes us way, way back in time, deep into Earth's history, to an origin story that is honestly as shocking as it is amazing. This is it. This is the revolutionary idea that completely flipped our understanding of life on Earth on its head. The theory isn't just that birds are like dinosaurs. No, the theory is that birds are dinosaurs, a living, breathing branch of the family that somehow made it through a global apocalypse. Let's just look at the evidence. On the left, you've got a theropod dinosaur. On the right, a modern ostrich. I mean, the similarities are just undeniable. The upright stance, that long S-shaped neck, the way their feet are right under their bodies, it's like you're looking at a ghost from the past. And the connection goes way deeper than just looks. The evidence is overwhelming. Hollow bones, just like a theropod's. A fused collarbone, that's the wishbone. The exact same 3-toed feet, the same S-shaped neck, and incredibly similar wrists. All told, paleontologists have found something like 100 shared features that create this undeniable link. Now, this story played out over millions and millions of years. It all started over 230 million years ago with the first feathered dinosaurs. Then, 150 million years ago, a game-changing creature shows up, Archaeopteryx, what we call the first true bird. But the real turning point came 65 million years ago. A mass extinction event wiped out all the giant dinosaurs, but some of their smaller, feathery relatives survived, and that paved the way for the incredible rise of every single bird we see today. So, what does this all mean for us right here, right now? It means that every single time you look out your window and see a pigeon or a sparrow, you are looking at a direct descendant of the creatures that once ruled this planet. You're literally witnessing living history. That hawk you see soaring in the sky, it carries the genetic legacy of theropod dinosaurs in its very bones. It's just this powerful reminder that evolution isn't some dusty concept in a textbook. It's a living, breathing force flying right over our heads. And if you really want to put their long reign into perspective, think about this. The first true birds showed up 150 million years ago. Modern humans, like us, we've only been around for about 250,000 years. Their dynasty is ancient, it's resilient, and believe me, it is far from over. So the next time you see a regular old pigeon on the sidewalk, just remember you're looking at a living dinosaur. And it really makes you wonder, what other incredible secrets about our world are just hiding in plain sight, waiting for us to notice?